Shanghai is the son of ancient glaciers. The snow peaks are silent. The stories of the Ice Age are still echoing. The white snow peaks nourish the land like milk. Moisturizing the forests, raising living things. And slowly merge into the clean and bright Shanghai. The water surface is clear and can hold the mountains on the shore. Deep and peaceful. Listen to the sound of the sun stirring the lake water. Tolerance is greatness. This is the largest lake in Jiuzhaigou. It is also the longest lake in Jiuzhaigou. It is magnificent and deep, as the deepest lake in Jiuzhaigou, and share its abundant water with other lakes. For thousands of years, the one-armed old man's cypress has been guarding this world blessed by nature. Listen to the whispers of colorful prayer flags. Day after day, year after year, the stories here always have a pious taste. Respect the sky. Respect the water. Respect the mountain. Respect the tree. The lake between the mountains and water is blue. Water is the soul of Jiuzhaigou. Water turning. Watermill in the flow. Take water as a teacher. The male god Dago. The love legend of the goddess Wulasemuo has been passed down to this day. Years have passed. The gods have turned into snowy mountains, watching for 1,000 years, blessing all living things. Mulberry smoke curls. Cypress incense burns in the white tower. Londa for blessing is thrown up. Dialogue between heaven and earth. Communication between all things. In this fairyland-like mountain and water. The living beings are pure. All things depend on each other. Hand-turning prayer wheels. Spinning. Spinning. "100 circles. 10,000 circles. Spring comes. A snowfall. Shanghai has become a colorful and charming world of ice and snow. This is a beautiful fantasy hidden deep in the high-altitude mountains. It is not seen at the foot of the low-altitude mountains. Blue lake. Green trees. Pink peaches. Snowy mountains. Shanghai covered with spring snow. It blooms its aura without concealment. If you say it is pure, it also has a playful look. If you say it is playful, it also has a majestic and heroic look. Come to Shanghai to meet the colorful spring snow. It takes some luck. Once the spring snow is a surprise to the flowers. The blue water moistens the heart buds. This is the color of the spring snow Shanghai. It is also the magic of nature. Water has rhyme. Waterfall has soul. The music of life is playing. Through the branches and leaves. Watch the water dance with the rocks. Flying beads and splashing jade. Like millions of pearls scattered in the world. The waterfall spreads out. I don't know where it starts and ends. After the world, the yellow-brown travertine seems to tell the vicissitudes of time. It is more magnificent and heroic in reality. Open-minded. Deep in the dense forest. Lingering water. Pouring out. Water splashes. Like a group of naughty children. Jumping and falling on the water. The cheerful laughter is the same as before. The sound of the beautiful waterfalls is different. Only clarity remains, no sorrow. Reincarnation and circulation. Over and over again, the peerless symphony is endless. This is Pearl Beach. The water is still clear. The pearls are still crystal clear. The water splashes one by one, showing the appearance of life blooming again. Perhaps it is the experience of the world. Instead, I understand the preciousness of simplicity. Pearl Beach Waterfall loves to play. Look at it in the mist. After being washed by the sun, the look of playing happily. It will draw a Chinese painting with the snow intimately. It will also perform a Guozhuang dance with the trees and the water. It will also raise beautiful long-leaf azaleas. Listen to the sweet words of flowers with the birds. A human rain, awakening from innocence. This is Pearl Beach Waterfall. After the test, still beautiful, more precious. This is a seemingly ordinary stone. 9.2 meters high, 163 cubic meters in volume, weighing about 522 tons. 320 million years ago, it was born in the ocean. It is dolomitic limestone. The orogeny made it rise from the seabed to the ridge at an altitude of 2,654 meters. At 21 hours, 19 minutes and 46 seconds on August 8th, 2017, it left the mountain and rolled down to the river valley. The vertical drop reached 272 meters. It destroyed all vegetation along the way. It formed a huge gap. Thus, he was given a new identity, the witness of the 8-8. Witness the collapse of the sky and the cracking of the earth, the impermanence of the world. Witness the reincarnation of all beings and the vicissitudes of all things. Witness the ruthlessness of disasters and the love of the world. Witness the hand in hand and self-improvement. The mirror absorbs the essence of the sun and the moon. The sea contains the spirit of mountains and rivers. The mirror's sea is boundless. It is both real and illusory. The boundless space. There are you and me. The fish seem to be swimming in the clouds. The birds seem to be flying in the water. The algae are bathed in the sun. Enjoy a sense of comfort. The fallen trees quietly guard the peace. Calcification into eternity. Mirror Sea is the dressing mirror of goddess Wulasimio. Jinghai is the love of male god Dago. Watching for thousands of years. Love is eternal like a song. Spring in March. Warm and cold. A peach blossom snow falls in the lake. The water surface awaken the creatures. There is one more ink painting in the world. Wait for some time. The ink shows its face. The sun warms the lake, nourishes everything. The clear water surface contains the green mountains. The lake is blurred like a fairy tale. Autumn. The lake blooms in the most beautiful appearance. The colorful leaves and water color interweave, like flames flowing gold. Travertine deposition. Colorful, like a peacock about to fly. The weather is getting colder. The lake restrains its brilliance. Be patient and unmoved, looking forward to the next spring. The colorful forests of Jiuzhaigou are a dance troupe. Dance to the heavens and earth. Dance to the spirits of the world. Use the blue sky as a temple. Use the cold wind as a movement. Use the earth as a stage. Use the sun to light. Use dark green as a base color. Use red dates to even out the color. Use autumn fruits to decorate. Use colorful gold. Use autumn rain to bathe. Use frost and dew to make up. Use wild cotton as a powder puff. Use clouds and mist as colorful clothes. Sometimes graceful, the goddess appears charmingly. Sometimes heroic, the male god blooms masculinely. This is what the colorful forests of Jiuzhaigou look like. One embankment, one world. Travertine deposition. The seawall is built to form a pool and seawall. Fish swim in the shallow bottom. Algae swim. Enjoy the tranquility of the seabed. One sea, one paradise. Different shapes, different colors. Each blooms beautifully. Petite and lovely. Gentle and majestic. Heaven and earth connect you and me. One embankment, one world, with water as the rhyme, catering to the rhythm. One rise and one fall without rest. Birds working, flowers whispering, neighbors living in peace and tranquility. One sea, one paradise. World in the sea, paradise in the sea. The blue sea is connected and safe. Watercolor and mountain scenery. Fairyland is open. The sea and the sky embrace each other infinitely. In Jiuzhaigou, a treasure house of ecological resources, there are many kinds of animals living. There is a small animal that we are familiar with on weekdays. It also chose to live on the clear waters of Jiuzhaigou. Mirror sea in the morning. The water surface is blue and peaceful. A male mallard is dressing up. Mallards are naturally clean. The yellow-green beak occasionally inserts into the dark brown feathers to lick. The gray-green head and neck are still bright and eye-catching against the blue lake, especially the white collar around the neck. It looks like a necklace and is particularly eye-catching. After dressing up, the mallard leisurely came to the Mirror Sea to swim. The plants here grow lushly. It is a good place to play. There are more friends waiting for it. Compared with the handsome male mallard, the female mallard with gray feathers and ordinary appearance looks much more ordinary. The feathers of the male mallard are amazing. The beautiful appearance makes it easier for it to find a mate in the natural environment. Several mallards are floating on the water to rest. It looks comfortable. The small claws under the water are actually paddling alternately. The neck stretches and retracts. Cooperate with the underwater flippers. Control the speed of moving forward in the water. Also keep the body balanced. The tired friends close their eyes to rest. From a distance, it seems that they are sleeping soundly. Actually, it is not. Mallards have the habit of controlling part of the brain to stay asleep and part to stay awake. One eye can be opened and the other closed during sleep. This unique skill helps them escape predation by other animals in dangerous environments. Bonsai Beach, a mallard has started a day of foraging with his friends. The slope of Bonsai Beach is gentle. Pine trees, cypress trees, alpine willows, and various shrubs stand in the water. Plant foods such as leaves, stems, algae, and seeds of plants. Animal food such as mollusks, crustaceans, aquatic insects. Provides a rich food for mallards. They plunge their heads into the water. There is what they're looking for. The water flow is too fast. Mallards have to keep paddling with their feet to keep their position in the water. Some mallards are lazy and just let themselves drift in the water. In places where the water flow is relatively gentle, mallards can stick their entire buttocks up, stand upside down in the water to find delicious food. Whether it is a lake with calm water surface or a reed bush with fast water flow, you can see the figure of mallards. They gather here in groups to forage, play, and rest. They are lively and cute. Their calls are loud. They add vitality to Jiuzhaigou. It has also become a beautiful scenery to attract tourists. The moment the ancestors of mallards migrated here, they regarded Jiuzhaigou as their home. The high mountain clouds and mists are filled on their shoulders. Like water and ink, the lake lies quietly at the bottom of the canyon. It is both real and illusory. Snow peaks, colorful forests, green sea, cascading waterfalls, blue ice, hidden emotions, natural beauty, beautiful nature, intoxicating beauty, intoxicating beauty. This is a fairy tale world. This is a paradise on earth. The mountains are like beautiful eyebrows. The lake is like clear eyes. Eyebrows protect thousands of mountains. Eyes protect thousands of seas. Quiet and deep. Clear eyes look forward. Please listen to her. Please gaze at her. She hears the Buddhist sounds of mountains and rivers. She sees all the beautiful scenery in the world. Shuzheng Waterfall, one of the 4 major waterfalls in Jiuzhaigou. Shuzheng Waterfall is a multi-level round waterfall. It is unique because the waterfall is shaped like lotus petals. The spring water flows upstream of the waterfall, passing through the gaps between trees and rocks. It is divided into thousands of streams. Sometimes it flows smoothly and sometimes it swallows, washing the stones. When it is slow, it is like clouds and smoke coming out of mountains. When it is fast, it is like flexible silk. The lake water overflows the embankment and crashes violently on the angular rocks. In an instant, the flowers fly and the jade is shattered. The water flowers are crystal clear and glittering. It looks like white plums. The water drips everywhere. It is like white rain falling on a sunny day. Shuzheng Waterfall is the source of the living water of Shuzheng Lake. It is so full of vitality. It keeps rushing. Listen to the gurgling sound of water, whispering the secret of youth. Watching the gurgling light, full of the passing time. This is the eternal vitality of Shuzheng Waterfall. If there's a chance, I really want to go with her. Go to the picturesque Shuzheng Lake. Throw yourself into the present there, just like a drop of water falling into the stream of Shuzheng Lake. Shuzheng Lake. We are here. You're a green elf in the arms of the mountains. Eyes that are used to gazing, because they are stained with the blue of the sky, and give birth to a school of strangeness and tenderness. 19 lakes piece together the outline of your soul. It does not contain any impurities, like a piece of warm jade. Deep and pure. The lakes are distributed in terraces. The water flows in different heights. The magnificent landscape of trees growing in the water and water flowing in the forest is presented. On the embankment, the treetops touch the clouds and mist. In early spring, the mountains are purple and red. When the frost dyes the autumn forest, the maple leaves are like fire, bright and juicy. The Shuzheng Lake is in your arms. It contains a deeper love than the sea. Just like my deep affection for him. If there's a chance, I want to tell her to go to the Shuzheng Lake with me. Mosses are common in Jiuzhaigou. They dot the natural beauty of Jiuzhaigou in the water. Their tenacious vitality and rapid reproduction ability. In barren land and secondary habitats after disturbance, they play the role of pioneers. There are 167 species of mosses in Jiuzhaigou. They belong to 32 families and 75 genera. They are distributed in streams, on the grass, almost everywhere. About the ancient biological form of mosses, the earliest period of appearance, there is no consensus in the academic community. Mosses have a simple structure. There is no vascular tissue. There is no real differentiation of roots, stems, and leaves. The stems, leaves, and roots we usually see. Strictly speaking, they should be called pseudostems, pseudo-leaves, and pseudo-roots. But the strong vitality of mosses is unquestionable. There are about 18,000 species in the world. The number is second only to angiosperms. Except for hot springs and oceans, they're almost everywhere in the world. A tree falls. All things come to life. One thought nourishes all things. That is a kind of eternity in the Jiuzhaigou Lake. That is a kind of rebirth in the Jiuzhaigou Lake. From a small seedling on a rock, decades and hundreds of years. But I don't know which day or moment, which disaster. The towering tree that has grown up, but quietly floated in the lake. Most of the body of the fallen tree will be immersed in the clear lake. Only a small part of the trunk floats on the water. But this small island has become the cradle of countless creatures. The new branches of the fallen tree, the new green of the grass, the swaddling clothes of mushrooms, the stage of flower stamens, the post station of birds, the platform of wild ducks. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The four seasons are like songs. The years pass by. All things are reincarnated. The story of the fallen tree is passed down from generation to generation. The story of the fallen tree is sung from generation to generation. He tells us with this silent and deep posture. All things in nature, life and death, depend on each other. Life and death are endless. One tree falls. All things grow. One thought nourishes all things. The vegetation is lush. The years are peaceful. The Tibetan stream salamander. This name may sound a little strange. But when it comes to giant salamanders, everyone is more familiar with it. In fact, giant salamanders belong to the family of giant salamanders. It appeared in the Devonian period about 400 million years ago. The Tibetan stream salamander belongs to the family of Microspermidae. It appeared in the Carboniferous period about 300 million years ago. Like giant salamanders, the Tibetan stream salamander is also a national rare protected animal. Their living habits are similar. They all have high requirements for water quality. They like to live in mountain streams, moist and cool places at an altitude of 1,204 kilometers. Because Jiuzhaigou has a good ecological environment and water quality, so the Tibetan stream salamander can be found here. The Tibetan stream salamander seems to be an elegant man living in seclusion in the mountains. They are far away from the hustle and bustle of the city. They stick to the mountains and rivers of Jiuzhaigou. They are contented. They reproduce. My name is Orange-Winged Thrush. I have orange feathers and a clear voice. I am a bird unique to China. It is more common in the southwest. Our population is relatively abundant. They often live in mountains, plateaus, forests, and bushes at an altitude of 1,500 to 3,400 meters. We are gregarious by nature and like to be with like-minded people. In the breeding season, we also travel in pairs with our spouses. We usually choose to move and forage on the ground under the bushes. We feed on seeds, plant fruits, and insects. They are omnivorous animals. We are very lively. We like to jump and shuttle between branches and leaves or fly in and out. The lake is our stable home. We build nests near the lake. They reproduce. I love the lush trees in Jiuzhaigou. I love the blue sky above my head. Jiuzhaigou in autumn. It is like a series of colorful oil paintings. Fiery red birch trees. Yellow pine needles. Dark green fir trees. Strands of silk, layers and layers. Colorful forests. Flying birds. Reflected in the clear blue lake. It complements the misty morning fog, blue sky, and white clouds and snow-capped mountains in the distance. Together, they interpret the autumn legend of Jiuzhaigou. After returning from Jiuzhaigou, you will not look at water. Water is the spirit of Jiuzhaigou. It is also the soul of Jiuzhaigou. Whether it is a gurgling stream, a mirror-like lake, or a romantic and soothing shallow beach, or a passionate waterfall. Every water in Jiuzhaigou is attractive. Those living creatures that depend on water and live by the water. They live and reproduce here with humans and grow harmoniously. The single-leaf grass is a rare species under national first-class protection. It grows between 2,750 meters and 3,900 meters above sea level, under mountain fir forests or rhododendron bushes. In Jiuzhaigou, widely distributed in Danzu Valley, Zama Lonely Valley, Rize Valley, Zuru Valley, understory mosses in Zechawa and other places, and often associated with star-leaf grass. There are more of them. This rare plant, which is 67 million years old, it has almost harsh requirements for the living environment. It is considered a natural indicator of an excellent ecological environment. For scientists, the single liquid grass has great scientific research value because among the more than 2,000 existing angiosperms, its structure is unique. Through research, it may unveil the evolution of ancient plants. It is precisely because of the excellent ecological environment. That is why Jiuzhaigou has such a large-scale unifolia thriving here. Noralang. In Tibetan, the rhetoric of grandeur falls on nature. In the name of the Milky Way, between the mysterious heaven and earth, accompanying the green mountains, falling in love with the clouds and rain. The spring breeze is mixed with a bit of chill, awakening all things. The ancient memories are revealed from the gaps between the branches and leaves, coming from the snow-capped mountains, flowing through the dense forests, quietly merged into the Noralang seas. The tranquility has not yet been laid out. From then on, the ups and downs have taken away the warmth of the lake, falling into the fairy tale world. The drizzle wets the body with wind and frost. The spruce whispers with a rustling sound and a clear and solemn voice, like a poet expressing his feelings through water. Carve deep feelings under the waterfall, deposited with travertine for thousands of years. Floating green and flowing red like a dream. The whole Jiuzhaigou is infected by this scenery. Snowflakes are like the spirits of the distant snow-capped mountains, floating across thousands of miles, condensed on the blue ice, sliding down the slope of time. In the prelude of 6 petals, beauty blooms in an instant. Between heaven and earth, the sun rises and the moon sets. The promise is eternal. Jiuzhaigou when it rains. Clouds and mists rise in the valley, filling the sky. It falls into the lake. The lake becomes sentimental. Ripples appear on the deep green water surface. Rainwater rushes down with the waterfall. Flying beads and splashing jade. The momentum is overwhelming. The most beautiful people in the rain are the people of Jiuzhaigou. The houses are sitting and lying in the rain curtain, leisurely and stable. Bright arcs on the eaves, like curtains in silk, smart and lively. On the roof, raindrops gently brush the prayer flags. All kinds of colors melt away in the rain, fading away from the world. It seems that the simplicity breeds the wonderful solemnity. In the corridor on one side of the house, I don't know who is pushing the prayer wheel. Let the believers whisper devoutly. Penetrate the rain curtain. Fly to the distance. Jiuzhaigou in the rain. 3 parts ink, 7 parts color. Wonderful ink brush. Eternal fragrance. Whenever spring comes, wild peach blossoms seem to be the first warm color in Jiuzhaigou. All over the mountains and fields, in a row, white with pink, pink with red. Jiuzhaigou is located in a high-altitude area. Winter is long. The temperature rises late. The blooming period of peach blossoms here is also later than that in the plains. The blooming period is also longer accordingly. So when the peach blossoms in the plains have begun to wither, the peach blossoms in Jiuzhaigou have just started to bloom. There are 3 valleys in Jiuzhaigou, including Rize Valley, Zechawa Valley, and Shuzheng Valley. Although peach blossoms are blooming, perhaps it is because of the contrast of the lake, the river water, and the reeds. So the more than 10 peach blossoms on the banks of the sparkling sea and the reed sea in Shuzheng Valley are particularly eye-catching. As the saying goes, the yellow reeds are lined up with tall branches. The pink peaches are charming and enchanting. The blue sea joins hands with the Emerald River. Tourists are laughing in the crowds. Wuhua Lake is the most dazzling pearl in Jiuzhaigou. The reason why Wuhua Lake is so colorful. This is closely related to the algae in the underwater world. Under photosynthesis, the phycoerythrin of red algae, the chlorophyll of green algae, the lutein of Zhangza, and others are all exerting their strength. They make the color of the lake change accordingly. It is wonderful. Not only Wuhua Lake, there are algae distributed in almost every water area of Jiuzhaigou. There are a large number of algae growing. And the algae species are rich. Almost every phylum has species distribution. There are more than 300 species of diatoms. There are more than 100 species of cyanobacteria. In terms of species, diatoms and cyanobacteria have an absolute advantage. They can convert inorganic matter in water into organic matter. Therefore, they assume the role of a primary producer. At the same time, phytoplankton itself has become the bottom of the entire food web. Provides food for the upper layer. Humans are naturally one of the beneficiaries. Under a microscope, we can observe the various shapes and amazing beauty of algae. There are crescent-shaped and fan-shaped. There are also vertical-shaped and chain-shaped. This is the artistic structure derived from nature. It is precisely because of the magic of algae. The lake in Jiuzhaigou. It can perform such a colorful spectacle. Usnea may be the most magical existence in the plant world. It has no roots and branches. It is lush and green. It grows on pine trees. It grows in spring and withers in autumn. The branches hang down. It sways in the wind. The spring breeze of Jiuzhaigou blows. Thin and short radishes grow on pine trees. Green radishes grow on pine trees. Both are romantic and beautiful. They stay together in the wind. Therefore, there's an idiom, usnea depends on each other. It is used to describe the love between husband and wife. The winter snow in Jiuzhaigou falls. The snow is white. Usnea also covers Jiuzhaigou with thousands of silver flowers. The forest is dyed. The warm sun shines obliquely. Usnea glimmers in the wind. Usnea grows in the wind of Jiuzhaigou in all 4 seasons. Summer is full of vitality. Winter is warm. This touch of green, swaying gracefully in the wind. There's a kind of brilliance. It is the stars falling into the world. There is a kind of tranquility. It is the majestic and unruffled. The llama who came on a cow, healed by scooping water. From then on, the morning was filled with fog. The wind raised the sound of the shadow. Thousands of years of practice. The distant mountains and the floating light. The white clouds and the colorful hills, quietly dancing on this mirror-like canvas. Ancient sentence, the creation of nature is nothing but this, the simplicity and quietness of the rhinoceros sea. It is just like the jade pot and ice heart described by the writer. The ripples sing out the gentle ancient meaning. The blue recites the distant Zen rhyme. The thousands of miles of smoke and waves seem to crush the white clouds. They fall gently one by one. The wine of the sun is slightly intoxicating. It is poured lightly in the secret language of the flowers. The clouds have cleared and the rain has passed. It is like a fairy spreading. The clear light of the stars and the moon. It falls into the mortal world. It awakens the sunken wood under the azure lake. In the smoke and waves of the lake, the sleeves dance in the wind and dust, reflecting the annual rings. The wind sways the branches of the years. In the soft light of the rhinoceros sea, how can I not be willing to be a watergrass? So far, 12 species of tobacco mosses have been found in the world. Among them, the spotted tobacco moss is a unique species in my country. It has been rated as an endangered species of higher plants in China. If you're lucky, you can find its beautiful figure in Jiuzhaigou. In summer, the green and furry moss group always spread in inconspicuous corners, like a mysterious little kingdom, waiting for people to explore. The spores of the spotted tobacco moss are shaped like a pipe. It stands out among a group of short and flat mosses, highly recognizable. Although the tobacco moss is small, but it has the dream of turning into spring mud. It grows on rotten wood and rocks. Although it does not have a real root system, it can grow firmly on the substrate, fix sand and store water, conserve water sources. Mosses are pioneers of nature and indicators of environmental pollution. They have been weathering wind and rain for thousands of years. Forging ahead, mosses with mosses of moss are of great significance. The four-season forests of Jiuzhaigou are bright and beautiful. Unique style. In spring, mountain peach and wild plum blossoms bloom one after another, mixed with tender green new leaves of trees. The whole forest is green and lush. On the shallows and the mountains, rhododendrons compete for beauty, dotted in between. In midsummer, the forest becomes a green ocean. New green is emerald green and dark green, showing a more vigorous vitality. When the autumn wind blows, the forest is dressed in gorgeous costumes. Deep orange, light yellow, crimson, alternating between light and dark, well arranged. The mountains are red. The forests are dyed red. All kinds of creatures compete for freedom in the frosty sky. Winter snow. Let the forest of Jiuzhaigou be covered with a silvery white cloak. Ice waterfalls, ice curtains, crystal white. The vast forest is like jade trees and white flowers. Jiuzhaigou, wrapped in silver, is more holy and elegant. along the plank road. The poetic atmosphere of Jiuzhaigou is everywhere. Walk through the plank road. Appreciate the overlapping waterfalls of the green sea. There is the companionship of calcium and soil. The cover depicting the years has the encounter of light and shadow. The unique addition of the composition of beauty has the lingering of trees and water. The classic interpretation of love by the small bridge and flowing water. When you stop and gaze. When the deep blue lake water overflows the embankment of feeling. Stirring the legend of rhinoceros floating in the waves. Arouse the eyes and mood. Naked carp lightly make up and go out. The watercolors give way to each other. The peacock spreads its feathers brilliantly. The soul of the flower shimmers and exudes fragrance. The accumulation and tranquility of the lake. The rush and excitement of the waterfall. All rise and fall in the flow. All breathe in and out in tolerance. The mountain breeze is the sound of fresh air. The lush vegetation is the message of fresh life. The birds sing and the stream sings. The grass is lush and the forest is dense. You can observe quietly. The sound of nature is all the way. The free thought is all the way. From the breathtaking magnificence to the quiet beauty of sitting and forgetting hunger. The spirit of nature is lingering beside the vegetation, water, and soil. The soul is leisurely in the poetry. The interest is transcendent in the painting. Although the road is circuitous, it is the life you walk straight with your feet. Although the sea of sky is shallow, but it is like your soul that is set free with love. The sky is clear and the air is fresh when you walk there. The walk back is still unsatisfying. Survived the quaternary glaciers. Standing in the world for 2.5 million years. An ancient relic seed. Sprouting branches from the depths of the dark earth. Going to the warm, golden sunlight. Reincarnations. Breaking through and stretching. Greenery. Vigorous. The yew is known as a living fossil in the plant kingdom. It likes shade, is drought-resistant and cold-resistant. It has a strong vitality, and its whole body is a treasure. Paclitaxel is a secondary metabolite in the genus Taxus. It is also recognized by the scientific community as an excellent anti-cancer drug. However, the process of extracting paclitaxel is sophisticated and complicated. If you directly eat the red aril or bark of the yew, you will easily be poisoned. Good luck, happiness, long-term prosperity, and eternal peace. These are all the plant stories of the yew. Every autumn, the red dots among the green are delightful. Perhaps they have experienced the desperate situation like the glacier. Only then can they bloom with extraordinary brilliance, just like this yew tree, which is both medicinal and ornamental.